See all those crispy, craggly Mongolian beef edges? It's starting to get nice and dark. That's what we want. Hey everyone, it's Kaitlin from The Walks of Life, and today I'm gonna show you how to make an easy and delicious Mongolian ground beef. Chances are, if you're a fan of our blog, you love my dad's Mongolian beef recipe. It's easily one of our most popular recipes. I have friends who make it again and again and again. We actually have a video for that, so we'll put the link here. But today, I'm gonna show you a version of that recipe that cuts the prep time into like a quarter. It's so fast because this recipe uses ground beef. The great thing about ground beef is there's a much higher chance that you have a pound laying in your freezer right now than that you have a pound of flank steak lying in your freezer. And obviously that version is delicious and special and on its own pedestal forever, but this version I made at home in my apartment kitchen. It took like 20 minutes. I went into a fugue state. I didn't utter a word. It was very fast. It's got the sweet soy saucy sticky sauce, plenty of scallions. There's ginger, there's garlic. We've got a good handful of dried red chili peppers. All the flavors of Mongolian beef that you know and love, packed down into an easy ground beef friendly recipe. The first thing that we're gonna do is marinate the ground beef. We're gonna do 2 teaspoons of Shaoxing wine. Whoa, okay. 2 teaspoons of Shaoxing wine, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. And you know, I've actually started putting my soy sauce in one of those like no drip spout bottles, and it's been a real game changer. And then I'm gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Not that ground beef like really needs to be so much more tender, but you know, like when you cook ground beef and sometimes it can be like a little dry and like tough tasting. We don't wanna like fully velvet the beef per se, but a little baking soda kind of helps keep everything copacetic. Now this should marinate for like at least 20 minutes. I'm gonna set this aside and prep my other stuff. So I've already minced my ginger. You need 1 teaspoon. I have a little bit more here. 3 large cloves of garlic. And then we have 8 dried Chinese chili peppers. I'm not gonna break these open, but the fact that there are 8 of them are just gonna add like a nice like warming heat. If you want the dish to be more spicy, you could break open like a few, but don't go crazy.
I feel like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
any more than
1
that,
or 2.
Be...
And then I'm just gonna chop my scallions and my garlic. So I have my scallions, I just gave them a quick rinse, and we're gonna keep the white and the green part separated. And me and Sarah were actually recently at a cooking demo at the Food and Wine Classic in Charleston, and one question was whether there like really is a big difference between the white part and the green part. There definitely is a difference. So it might seem like kind of a cumbersome step, but the white part, it takes longer to cook and it has like more of like a traditionally oniony flavor. So that's why oftentimes you'll see in our recipes that we add the white parts earlier in the dish. It just helps to get like 2 kind of flavor profiles out of 1 vegetable, which is nice.
The white part is more sharp, like spicy onion.
Yeah, the white part has more of that like oniony bite that you would expect. Cutting them on the bias just gives a nice kind of like flare in the pan. And that's it. That was so easy. Half my prep is done. Now I'm just going to roughly chop the garlic. My dad always minces everything perfectly, but I almost don't have patience for that. You know, sometimes I feel a little bit like silly cutting the ends off my garlic. Like I'm like, is it that big of a deal? Like to ingest 1 woody end? And to be honest, I really don't think it's that big of a deal unless it's like really like kind of dried out, but
depends on how thick it is.
Yeah, like if it's a thicker end, then like chop it off. But if it's kind of thin, then just leave it. So for the cornstarch slurry, I just have 2 tablespoons or so of water here, and I'm gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm just gonna stir to dissolve, but I feel like we're always telling you guys like stir the cornstarch slurry again, and you could just stir it the 1 time at the stove. But that's the cornstarch slurry made, and I'm just gonna make the sauce right in a measuring cup. Okay, so the sauce calls for 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm not gonna pack it, just like a loose 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of light soy sauce, and now I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, and that's gonna give the sauce that really rich color. It's technically optional, but by now, You should really have dark soy sauce in your pantry. Dark soy sauce is a really great ingredient. It just adds that extra dimension of color and flavor. And as you can see, like I put a 1/4 cup of light soy sauce and 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce. So a little really goes a long way, and trust me, you will find great ways to use this ingredient. So now I'm gonna get a shallow dish to dredge our ground beef in. So I tested this recipe a few times, and my dad's original Mongolian beef recipe calls for 1/2 cup of cornstarch. This recipe only needs 5 tablespoons, which is another nice thing about it, because sometimes I'm down to the bottom of my cornstarch jar and there ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna roll up the old sleeves. So you can see my beef is like a little bit broken up. I'm just gonna tumble all that onto the cornstarch. We're just gonna like break it up into loose chunks. All the chunks are getting coated, but like I'm not mixing it. I'm just trying to get everything covered. You almost get like bigger chunks of ground beef.
They're nuggets.
Yeah, they're nuggets. You almost get like nuggets of ground beef. Like the goal is not to break up the ground beef into like tiny little pebbles. The goal is to get like bigger chunks. Like this could afford to be like 2 pieces. I'm gonna break up those nuggets. The longer this beef sits, the more it's gonna absorb the cornstarch. So once it gets to this point, you wanna be ready to head to the stove. Just put a test piece in. First penguin off the cliff. I'm gonna put the beef in. Keep it on like medium heat. I'm not gonna try to disturb it too much. I want this to get crisp. So hard not to move it. So I'm just gonna toss it now. Kind of want to distribute like the beef fat that's coming out of the beef and the oil a little bit. Just make sure everything gets like evenly in the oil. And if you're doing this in a skillet, it'll be on a flatter surface. That will make the oil more evenly distributed on the surface. So now you can see it's getting really crisp. But I want it to get even more. Ground beef cooks so quickly, and the fact that we've already like broken it up into these little chunks, by the time this is as crisp as we want it to be, all the beef should be nicely cooked through. We're already so close to being done and ready to eat. And you make a pot of rice, maybe some steamed broccoli, or whatever vegetable stir fry, like one of my mom's vegetable stir fries, and dinner is ready. It's really easy. So I'm gonna take this out now. And I'm just gonna put it back in the dish that we tossed it in, because this is gonna get cooked in like a bubbling pot of sauce one more time. And I'm just gonna leave all the oil behind. So now with the oil that's left, I'm gonna add the dried chili peppers. So those are gonna get a little toasted. Infuse the oil for a little bit. So now I'm gonna add the ginger.
Your recipe calls for 1 teaspoon. That's way more.
It calls for 1 teaspoon, but I just cut extra. This really just needs 30 seconds or so. And then I am going to add the white parts of the scallions and the garlic. I'm just gonna toss that a little bit to awaken the flavors of the scallion and the ginger and the garlic and the chili peppers, but it doesn't really have to like cook for a long time. Now I'm going to add our sauce. And then we're just gonna let this bubble. We're gonna let some of that sugar cook and get like nice and caramelized in the wok. And that's in a wok, that's gonna happen, honestly, in any pan. Like this process is gonna happen quick. So I can already see like it's kind of thickening. That sugar is coming out to play. You can see it really bubble. Okay, so now I'm just mixing up my cornstarch. Now I'm gonna add our beef back in. And I'm going to add the green parts of the scallions. And now you just like give everything a toss until everything's coated in the sauce and the scallions just get a little bit cooked. Look at how beautiful and delicious that is. When I cooked this recipe for the first time, we were like, oh, we have to make a video because it's so crazy fast and it's really yummy. So I'm gonna plate it and then we're gonna taste it. That's my easy Mongolian beef, this much, much shorter and a little bit more convenient version of my dad's classic Mongolian beef recipe. Let's go taste it. I mean, it's so like, yeah, you can eat this with a spoon. Really good. Ooh, it's more spicy from, it's Mongolian.
Nothing to do with Mongolia.
This dish is just It's so easy. It's so good. I've been on a kick recently of really easy recipes. Like if it's not crazy easy, I don't want to cook it and I don't want to show you all. But this one definitely passes the test. It's got all the Mongolian beef flavors. I feel like if you are looking for new weeknight recipes, if your family loves Mongolian beef, give this one a try. It's really, really yummy. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us at thewalksoflife.com for more great and easy recipes. Thanks everybody. This recipe is really amazing and I'm gonna show you how to make it.
Just put the beef down.
I have a cold today, so for that one guy who said that I have an annoying helium voice, enjoy this!
Somebody made a comment about my quote, vocal fry.
I know, so annoying.
And I'm like, you try having a toddler wake you up at 4 a.m. in the morning and see if
know.
you don't have vocal fry.
Somebody's gonna be like, vocal fry, and be like, yes, my vocal cords are fried.